To the country's courts we go. The case involving former Cape Town MAYCO member for Human Settlements, Malusi Booi, and suspected 28 gang boss Ralph Stanford has now been postponed to March. Booi was arrested alongside 9 others in September last year in connection with alleged housing fraud involving tenders amounting to over 1 billion rand. The state then chose to combine the charges, adding murder and attempted murder to this 35-page charge sheet, bringing the number of accused to 29. Our reporter Latashia is covering the court proceedings for us at the Magistrate's Court in Cape Town and joins us live. Latashia, good afternoon to you. What does this mean exactly, the charges being combined in this case?
Good afternoon, Michelle. Well, in October last year, on the last appearance of Malusi Booi and the 9 accused in the dock, the state decided that it was going to amalgamate both the charges related to extortion as well as charges related to Ralph Stanford and his so-called criminal enterprise, which included charges of murder pertaining to the murder of Wendy Kloppers, who was a city official who died as a result of her involvement in a housing project in Delft in 2023, along with charges that Stanford and his wife Nicole Johnson were facing related to the murder of former Hard Living's gang boss Rashid Staki back in 2019. And the state said this combination of the charges was a result of the amount of overlap between the extortion case and the housing fraud tender, together with the criminal entities alleged to be related to gang activities. But today in courts, the number of people in the dock stood at 14. 14 additional accused were live streamed in via a Teams connection, and this included Ralph Stanford and his wife Nicole. But an interesting point to note was that there were 4 additional people who were added to this morning's a list of accused, one of those being Nicole Stanfield's mother, Nicole Johnson's mother herself, as well as Kyle Stanford, who's the younger brother of alleged 28 gang boss Ralph Stanford. Now, the magistrate today rules that there would be one last postponement to allow the state to finalize its investigations, that 35-page charge sheet. Now, the defense were really opposed to this, stating that in October last year, when today's date was set down, it was to ensure that the investigation was completed by this date, and that, of course, relating to the assessment and analysis of 105 bank accounts and dozens of cell phone devices, which have not been concluded by today. Now, the date of the 20th of March is going to be a final date for the state to complete its investigations, and we're told that should the state not be able to conclude the investigations by that date, then an application will be brought to the courts to further investigate why there's been such a delay to the course of justice. And of course, this is an ongoing story, Michelle. We know that last week, in relation to this investigation, J.P. Smith, who is the MAYCO member for safety and security in the city, along with his colleague Xanthia Lindberg, who's within the water and sanitation department, had their offices raided in relation to ongoing investigations pertaining to this billion-rand tender fraud scandal, together with those criminal charges of murder, extortion, attempted murder, and defeating the ends of justice. So we've got to wait until the 20th of March now to see that the state finally concludes its investigations. Until then, there are about 11 of the accused who are out on bail and will remain on bail, while Ralph Stanford, his wife, and others remain behind bars in the interim, Michelle.
Latashia live to us there at the Cape Town Magistrate's Court. 29 accused, 54 charges. This case back in court in March.